Hey, guys, we're ready. You guys ready? Ready for some comedy? Here in Bellefontaine, Ohio at the Syndicate. Yeah. You know, I recently found out from a coworker that 90% of fights go to the ground, which I thought was kind of on par with me because 100% of my fights always end up on the ground. Yeah, you laugh because you think that I got my ass beat, right? But I didn't, because I got this one special fighting move that I use all the time, and I'm going to tell you guys about it, right? It's the fetal position, ass up in the air, sucking my thumb, crying. Nobody wants to beat somebody up like that, you know what I'm saying? Not unless there's some kind of sick individual. You know what I'm saying? So, let's see, I see some familiar faces out here. You know, we got Scott and Mike and some of Tammy and her friends. So, the weird thing about seeing people that you know is you got to kind of be cautious. So I'm going to throw this out here to begin with, right? Anybody that knows my wife, I'd appreciate if you just kept this shit on the down low, right? Like, I'm not supposed to be here right now. I told her I was going to Bible study. The weird thing about that is I use this excuse all the time. And when I get home, it's the weirdest thing. She keeps asking me all these questions and shit. Like, I think I'm being interrogated, like I'm going to be going down for some kind of crime or something, you know. One of the questions that she always asks me is, what kind of Bible study do you go to where they drink? Not to be like, calm down, bitch, we're Catholic now. Didn't you know that? So another weird thing about running into people that you know that's familiar is you might run into somebody that's from high school, from like 20 years ago, somebody you didn't even get along with, you know what I'm saying? And the shit, it always goes the same way. This is how it goes. Hey, man, what's up? Hey, dude, what's up? It's like, you got kids? Yeah, I got kids. You got kids? Yeah. And then it's always this. Looks like marriage has been treating you pretty good. And I'm always like, what the fuck does that mean? Isn't that just a polite way of telling me that I'm fat? You know? So the dilemma that I have with that scenario about them telling me that I'm fat, like I didn't already know, you know, is that my wife doesn't cook very often. So like I'm doing that shit myself, you know. Like I need to learn how to back up from the table. So the weird thing about gaining a little bit of weight, you know, and then like you haven't seen somebody, another weird thing is like, say, I maybe I shouldn't be sharing this information, but a little bit ago, I had COVID, and like I wasn't eating and shit, you know. And I get back to work, and one of the ladies is just like, "Oh, how much weight did you lose? I could tell you just lost a bunch of weight." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" It made you start thinking about yourself, like, "Oh shit! Like, how fat was I?" You know what I'm saying? Like I could still see my penis, you know. But the weird thing too about gaining weight is sometimes it interferes with some things, you know, like say, you know what I'm saying, you know. So like one night I'm going to town, grunting and shit, you know, and she starts moving around all weird and shit, and I'm like, oh shit, she's getting a little feisty, some new moves, you know what I'm saying? And then I like kind of notice like shit, I think she's trying to get away. Then she yells out some shit like, I can't breathe. That fucking just killed my ego, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, fuck, shit. I guess I should probably go on a diet. And you can't tell by looking at me, but I got a little pride, right? With fucking shit I'm dressed, and you're like, no, he doesn't. And because I got pride, I went on a diet, right? And I went on a 1,200 calorie diet. I lost 20 pounds in 23 days. No, that doesn't need applause. Fuck, that's normal. Yeah, just keep that shit to yourself, I guess. So after losing this weight, one night I was taking a shower like normal people do. Not everybody. I smelled somebody in the back over there. But I was taking a shower, and in my bathroom, I got a full-length mirror, right? And all of a sudden, I'm just like, I'm looking in the mirror. I thought, oh, shit. I think my penis is a little bit larger, you know? Well, I say that weird. I shouldn't say I think my penis is a little bit larger. I should say my penis is a little bit bigger, you know, because that would insinuate like it was large to begin with, but now it's larger. And that's not the point that I'm trying to make here. Let me fix this mic, if I can figure it out. Mic stand. Okay, so anyway, I look in the mirror, and I think that my penis is a little bit bigger, and I'm excited about it, you know? And I'm like, hey, babe, shit. You got to come in here. And she's like, oh, for fuck's sakes, you know. So she walks in there, and she's like, what is it? And I was like, think my penis is a little bit bigger, you know? And she's just like, you know, I read somewhere and fuck, I wasn't gonna listen, you know what I'm saying? Like I just blocked that shit out. But evidently the moral of the story when she was done was that for every 10 guys that she does, she gains another star. No, but for every 10 pounds that a guy loses, he gains an inch of his dick back. And now she's super excited because she's got 4 inches to play with now. But suddenly I gotta lose 60 pounds. Like, I don't know how to tell her that shit, you know, like, I'm sorry, babe, but I never had that much to begin with. All right, guys, I'm closing on that one. Are you guys ready for your first real comedian? All right, let's bring him up here with a warm welcome. Welcome to the stage, Justin Weezy.
What's going on, Bellefontaine? Is that not how you say it? Is that how you say it? Hey, I'm trying here, man. I'm from West Virginia. We don't really have swanky joints like this where I'm from, so, you know, most date nights are Bob Evans. You know, as long as you get there before, you know, the Red Hat Society gets there. I don't know about you guys, but I got a big problem, man. Having the ability to watch pornography on my cell phone, it's really made me a shitty driver. Like it's not even really the videos that are so distracting. It's me sitting there on Pornhub for days going, seen it, seen it, seen it, seen it. Finally, you get down to page 37 of Granny Gangbangs. And you see a little filly, it looks like, you know, Nancy, it plays the piano at church. Y'all know the type. She got a banana clip to match every pair of culottes. Yeah, so now every Sunday when we go to church, I got to hide my boner with the hymnal while we sing Amazing Grace. But I'm trying to stop, you know, watching porn while I drive. I know it's inevitable. I'm going to be in an accident. Probably T-bone 18-wheeler or something, but how's that going to look, man, whenever the ambulance driver shows up and there I am in the driver's seat, you know, got my pants down around my ankles, my knees up on the steering wheel like I'm trying to drive with my knees. I got a belt around my neck and the headrest. Shriveled up little tallywhacker in my hand. I just don't want to go out like that, man. I got a daughter, man. How's that going to look? Her dad died in a freak masturbation and traffic accident. So I'm trying not to go that route, but shit, self-driving cars, they're a thing of the future, man, right? They're coming to a city near you, right? I feel like if I can see that coming, then Tesla should already be working on a windshield wiper for the inside of the windshield. This is really going to increase the amount of masturbation on the highways. But, you know, throw in that windshield wiper, maybe a lotion dispenser, paper towel holder. Shit, give me a collection cup. I'll get my side hustle on while I'm in traffic, right? But I brought my beautiful wife with me tonight. She's over here recording. She's a trooper, man. That's right. I got me a West Virginia girl with most of her teeth still. I say most of teeth, you know. It's, you know, there's a lot of taffy in West Virginia, so. But, man, I had it bad for her growing up. We were the same age. We went to the same school and shit, and I always had it bad for her, man. She'd never give me the time of day. She was, you know, captain of the cheerleading squad. She was the homecoming queen, this, that, the other, you know. Way too good for me, but, you know, she'd never give me the time of day because, you know how bitches in your own grade are. They always just want to go after those older guys, right? So she did that. She did just that. She went after an older guy and made her whole family, you know, real proud becoming a teen mom. You know, back before you could get a TV show for it. Yeah, but fun fact, I have a 17-year-old brother and now a 17-year-old stepson. So if you do the math, my mother and my wife were both pregnant at our high school graduation. Neither of the kids are mine. From West Virginia, I feel the need to clear that up, but. So, you know, after high school, we went our separate ways, man. You know, she went off, had 2 kids. I didn't have any kids, so I'm proof here tonight that a 6 with no baggage can land a 10 with 2 kids, as long as you can put up with a bad tramp stamp and a couple brats. So, but no, we went our separate ways, man. After high school, I went off to college. I had a couple pretty serious drug addictions, but I've kicked them since then. But hey, thank you. That shit was hard, man. That shit was tough. But one addiction I could never kick was my addiction to MILFs. Anybody feel me on that? Huh? I like a good mommy. MILF addiction got bad, man. It got so bad that my phone would start to autocorrect the word milk to MILF. I mean, I'd even try to type the motherfucker in. I'd be like, M-I-L-K. And my phone would be like, did you mean MILF? I'm like, yeah, let's rub one out, then we'll go to the grocery store. But you know how hard it is to make a grocery list when your phone's autocorrecting the word milk to MILF? I mean, I'll be sitting there going, I need MILF duds, got to pick up some buttermilk, make sure I get the MILF of magnesia, whatever that shit is. But one thing that always puzzled me, man, every time I'd type in chocolate milk, it would come back ebony MILF. So I stopped trying to figure out what that one meant. But, shit, MILFs, right? Where was that? MILFs. Y'all got me fucked up. But, MILF addiction got even worse. It got to where I found myself following minivans that were coming out of the soccer complex. If they had a stick figure family on them, man, if that dad was scratched out, I'd follow that fucking van around for a week. Never miss one of the kids' soccer games, man. I'd always have orange slices on deck. Hell, I'd be up in the games like, Coach, put Bryce in the fucking game. And they're like, who is this guy? He's not your dad, right? But it got even worse, man. I found myself going to bus stops, trying to see what kind of mommies were picking up and dropping off kids. That's a thin line right there. It'll get you on a list. There's only so many times you can go to the bus stop and not pick up or drop off a kid before somebody starts asking questions, and it's real hard to convince people you're just a pervert and not a pedophile. So it was inevitable, man. One day, an angry dad came up, and I'm at the bus stop, minding my own business, got my binoculars, dick hard as astrophysics. And he just knocks on the window. He's like, what's your deal, bro? I'm like, bro, I'm just checking your wife out, not your kid, I promise. It didn't go over too well. But once I got past all my addictions and we reconnected, her having 2 kids really played well into my MILF addiction, But once we got together, I kind of had to, confess to her how in love with her I was in high school and stuff, and kind of let her know how many tube socks I had soiled in her honor in high school. But lucky for me, she's my little tube sock now. What was that? Jizzing her and throwing her in the corner till she gets crusty? But, once we got together, she finally convinced me to have a child of my own. So we have a daughter together. She's a 7-year-old, beautiful little girl, man, And she don't quite understand the stress that Dad's under as far as, keeping the house together, trying to pay the bills, trying to see what bills I can skip this month so I can afford weed. So she'll see me all stressed out, and she'll be like, Daddy, come play with me. And I'm like, all right, you melt my heart. Let's go play. And she'll be like, let's look at the clouds, Dad. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let's look at the clouds. So she'll be like, I see a giraffe. I see a turtle. I see a kangaroo. What do you see, Dad? Oh, you know what Daddy sees in the clouds? Well, sweetheart, this cloud right here looks like a cutoff notice for the fucking electric bill. This one over here, sweetheart, it's a toilet. It's got all Dad's hopes and dreams in it, and they all flushed the day you were born. Oh, look, it's a tow truck. It's a tow truck coming to get mommy's car because daddy really needed weed this month. Eventually, I'm just like, all right, sweetheart, run along, play with your Barbies. Daddy's going to snuggle the toaster in the bathtub. Make sure mommy marries somebody rich this time. But shit, we got a new bed recently. Had to get a new bed. It's been a game changer, man. Mostly got a new bed because my wife was sick of fucking me in a race car bed. I don't know if it was the bed itself that ticked her off so much, or every time I'd prematurely ejaculate, I'd make Fast and the Furious jokes. So I get up and be like, come fast or die. Live my life 1/4 inch at a time. But so we had to get a new bed, man. We go to the furniture store. I don't know if you've been mattress shopping, but it's an adventure. We go to the furniture store, and, I don't know what to do. I'm going around pushing fucking beds. I don't know. And finally found one I really fell in love with. The bed was awesome, and as soon as I fell in love with it, I saw the sales lady saw me. So I'm like, oh, God, here comes the vultures, So she saunters over to us, and I'm laying on the bed at this point. She's like, you like that one? I'm like, yeah, this one's got good comfort. And she's like, okay, well, that one's got, cooling, pillow top, it's a Tempur-Pedic. I'm like, yeah, all that makes sense. That's exactly what I came for. And she's like, well, shit. All right. All right. All right. Thank you. So anyway, she sees me, I fell in love with the bed, and the sales lady comes up to me, and she's telling me all the specs about the bed, and I'm like, cool. Now, at the furniture store, they don't have the prices out where you can see them. They keep them under these little flaps, so you don't freak out at the price of a mattress as soon as you get in the store. So I walked to the edge of the bed, and I pulled a flap back. I'm like, God, is that the price of a fucking mattress? And she sees my face, and next thing she says is, well, we have some slightly imperfect discounted mattresses in the back if you'd like to take a look. Well, she said that, and all I heard was, you broke ass, we got a pile of welfare fuck pads in the back. If that's more accustomed to your white trash budget. So I'm like, bitch, let me see them fucking beds. So she takes us to the back, and lo and behold, there it is, a mattress just like the one I fell in love with up on the floor, man, back in the broke people section. So I'm like, hell yeah. So I saunter back there, and I finally get a full view of the mattress, and there's this big red stain right in the middle of it. I mean, it looked like the 50-foot woman was using it for a maxi pad. So I'm like, man, I don't want them motherfucking hand-me-down mattresses, man. She's like, no, what happened was, it was on the sales floor, there was a roof leak, and rusty water dripped on the bed. We've sterilized it, we've cleaned it, it's good to go. I'm skeptical, so I walk up to it, and I push in the red spot. And it's just dry. Okay. Still skeptical. So I roll up to the mattress, and I slam my head in the red spot. And I go, that's a clean mattress. They Febreze the fuck out of that thing. All right, cool. And she's like, well, if you like that, then we could knock $350 off the mattress. I was like, $350? Get that motherfucker to the house. So now I'm walking around the furniture store like I got $350 extra in my pocket. Y'all seen these adjustable frame for the beds with the remote? Fucking Craftmatic 2.0. Got one of those motherfuckers. That's been a game changer. So we got that to the crib, and now I got the Craftmatic. I'm gonna get the Life Alert. I need a clapper. I'm just gonna call it a day, man. I'm gonna get so fat in this fucking bed, they're gonna give me my own show on TLC. But sex has made, or the bed's made sex a lot better since we got the new bed, right? Sex has been a lot better? All right, cool. Good to know. My wife gets tickled, man, because she'll get on top of me, and we'll be, doing the business, and all of a sudden I'm like, perfect motorboat position. But we was waiting on the kids to get off the bus the other day, and I'm like, baby, let's get a quickie in. Come on, let's get a quickie in. I don't know about y'all, but quickie for us is, she bends over, you drop a little, pop, like literally that long, and we're done. So she's like, all right, so we run to the bedroom. I bend her over the foot of the bed, and, I'm giving it to her, I reach over and grab the remote, and I'm like, raising her ass off the ground till her fucking legs was dangling like that. So after we was done, I was like, baby, do you like that? Do you like that? And she was like, yeah, it made me feel like a little girl again. I said, cut that shit. Told you I'm a fucking pervert, not a pedophile. So we don't do that one anymore. But it hasn't been all good with the new bed. What they don't tell you is these pillow top mattresses, you got to buy special fitted sheets for them. They're like deep pocket. I didn't know that. So I get this motherfucker home, and I'm putting race car sheets on the motherfucking bed. And it's just not quite fitting. So I stretched that son of a bitch out, and I got it right over one corner of the bed. I'm like, all right, we'll sleep tonight. We'll get new deep pocket sheets tomorrow. It'll be all right. About 2:30, 3 in the morning, I roll over, and that fucking sheet pops off the corner right over my face. Just so happened to coincide with a dream I was having about being kidnapped by the Taliban. So I woke up with this sheet on my face going, no jihad, no. So now we have a red stain and a yellow stain on the mattress. But I'm Justin Wheezy. Y'all have a good night.
Keep it going for Justin. All right, that's enough. Keep it going for me. I couldn't help but to think about something when I seen him up on that chair. Exactly. Look at me. Look, how the fuck can I be confident? My feet don't even reach the ground. You know what else? I can't be confident wearing sweatpants. Like I want to be, like I want to put them on and walk around in the cold, but I can't, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you guys, you ladies, some of you guys, you've been looking at that shit. And I'm tired of being a liar, really, because I have to be like, oh, it's really cold out here, Like I don't even be sending dick pics for the same fucking reason, Like if I do end up sending one, it's like beside a bite-sized candy bar or something. I'd be like, bitches. All right, you guys ready for your second comedian? Okay, this guy is from the Dayton area. His name is Nate Washington, and he's been doing comedy for 11 years, and you guys can catch him at the Fuse Festival, which is in the Oregon District, and those dates for that would be December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All right, give it up for Nate Washington.
What's happening? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? Y'all good? All right. I ain't gonna fuck with y'all F-150s or nothing, I ain't gonna break in y'all shit. Like, in fact, as soon as I get done here, I'm getting the fuck out of wherever the hell I'm at. Just be cool, I ain't gonna start no shit, So just as long as y'all don't, I see y'all put the brother in the front, like to try to make me feel a little more comfortable. I'm gonna move this. Can I move this? Yeah. I appreciate y'all doing that, bruh. If I give you the signal, you make sure you spring into action. You hear me? He know what it is. Don't worry about it. He know what it is. If I give it, bruh, if I drop it, you just flip that motherfucking table over and punch the first motherfucker you see. You hear me? We a team, goddammit. We responsible for each other getting out of this motherfucker tonight. You hear me? Shit. Whew. OH. Yeah, y'all know it. Anybody know what Ohio's state motto is? I'll tell you. The state motto for Ohio is find it here. Find it here is the state motto for Ohio. And by it, we mean heroin overdoses. Because that's all we got. But, I don't think heroin is the real addiction that's messing it up for our country. I think it's another one. Coffee. Everybody knows somebody addicted to coffee, right? Not everybody knows somebody addicted to heroin. But we make jokes about coffee addiction, don't we? You know, people, they treat the fact that they didn't have coffee in the morning before work as an excuse to be a dick to you. But why? Like, why do we humorize one and demonize the other? I tell you why. Because it ain't cute when you show up to work on Casual Friday and your shirt says, "Not till I have my heroin." You can't wear that shit. This is a methadone clinic. What? You gotta go change. And I smoke cigarettes. Like I'm a smoker, and you know, just last year I went the longest I had gone without smoking, which for me was like about 8 months, and I was proud of that. You know what I mean? But then I went on a vacation. I got a chance to go out of town, and I did that little shitty vacation logic you do when you use the fact that you're in a different city as an excuse for poor behavior. You know. And I'm like, oh, man, you're having a good time. It's been 8 months. You should reward yourself with a cigarette. That's the poorest excuse for shitty behavior. I'm on vacation, you know? You wouldn't see me, like, at a Target somewhere, and they're like, sir, we can't let you do that here. And I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm from out of town. It's another heroin joke. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all doing all right? Good. Y'all been having a good time so far? Give it up for everybody you seen then. Let them hear it one more time. Yeah. Yeah, y'all filled this motherfucker up tonight, man. Like shit. I feel good. This is my first time performing in a town that was painted by Norman Rockwell. I ain't never did no shit like this. Like, 'cause I'm from like I'm originally from Chicago, man. I'm from the hood, man. So, you know, Chicago got a real gang culture up there, and that's part of the reason why my mom moved us to Ohio. You know what I mean? Because the gang culture up there is very like real. You know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous city if you don't know how to navigate it. But a city that's worse for that, I got to perform in, is Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California has a gang culture unlike any other because, and I'm sure you guys have heard it, like it's familiar, like certain colors can, you know, just wearing the wrong color shirt can end in gun violence out in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying? And I was booked out in LA, and what I found out was to be a Crip neighborhood, a Rolling 60 Crips. It's a gang. They are notoriously known for wearing blue. But I'm from Chicago, and I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. And I showed up to the show wearing a pair of Jordans that were red and black. And white people, if you don't know about gangs, the rivals to the Crips, you know, if you got one, you got to have a rival. The rival to the Crips is a gang called the Bloods, and they like to wear red. So I show up in the Crip neighborhood in red sneakers, and you know, the first person I met wanted to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know, so here's the thing though, I ain't no bitch. You ain't gonna just scare me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna just come up and think you're gonna intimidate me, you know, and think I'm gonna just bitch up in front of you. I'm gonna say something back. So the dude walked up to me and he was like, hey man, where you from? And he looked down at my shoes and he looked right back up at me and he lifted his shirt up and he got a gun on his waist. And I said, and he turned around, looked at his homeboy, said, oh man, this motherfucker from Africa, he ain't banging. I just ran my ass on in the show like, woo. He almost got me. Shit was dangerous, man. You know, can I say this? I think we need, as a country, we need to start being nicer to women. Or not, fuck them hoes. Yeah, shit, you know, shit, fuck them. I don't know how y'all get down up here, you know. But y'all was silent, like, why? Why should we do that stupid shit? Pardon the fuck out of me. I will start being nicer to women. More specifically, the GPS lady, because I ain't meaner to nobody than her, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you go on a vacation and shit, and you type in that damn address and you leave the house like you are on the edge of your seat listening to everything she say. And you know how to get to the fucking highway from your house. You know, but like when the GPS lady talk, you be on the edge of your goddamn seat. What we do next? You know. What about when you come home though, on the way back after you had the time of your life in fucking Gatlinburg or wherever the fuck you went? You know what I mean? On the way back, the first landmark you recognize, as soon as the GPS lady try to say something, as soon as she try to talk, in the next 3 miles, bitch, I know where I'm going. God damn, turn this shit out. Like, be nice. She's just trying to help. Shit. Let me say this too, while I'm just yelling out things that I believe. I think if you got a Confederate flag anywhere on your house or your car on a shirt, you shouldn't be allowed to shop online. Like, fuck it. You can either have fucked up views about black people, or you can get your cat food from Chewy.com, but you can't do both. You gotta pick, motherfucker, because it's information on the internet. I knew that wouldn't be your favorite joke, but I told it anyway. And let me explain why I said that. Oh, just leave that anywhere. It's cool. I say that because like I used to be a FedEx driver, and like one thing I noticed like when I was driving for FedEx is sometimes white people, y'all like to threaten people with y'all house. And let me explain what I mean. Like y'all like to buy signs and shit like in home decor with like threats of violence on them. So I remember one time I was walking up to a house and there was a sign in the lawn. They had a long-ass walkway to the front door. I'm carrying a box. And there was a sign on the lawn that said, if you can read this, you're within range. And I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, then I walked a little further to the door and there was another sign that said, this house is protected by Smith & Wesson. And I'm like, God damn, like what the fuck is going on out here? So I walk a little bit more and get to the front door, and the welcome mat said, we don't call 911. And it had a picture of a revolver, and I'm like, why, motherfucker? What if somebody was hurt? Motherfucker, you asked me to be here. I wouldn't just show up at your shit. I got a box with your name on it. The fuck are you threatening me? So I had to leave that job. Fuck that. I got cotton mouth. John, can you hand me my water, bro? Oh. Right there, right here by the pumpkin. That one. Thank you. Yeah, okay. Anyway. How you doing tonight, sir? Great. United States Air Force. Is that United States Air Force on your hat? Thank you for your service, sir. My cousin, she just retired. She retired as a senior master sergeant. I'm so proud of her because, you know, she's a black woman, and I'm sure you know how difficult of a rank that is to achieve for a black woman. So thank you for your service, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Is this your wife you're here with? This is the wife here? And that's the best friend. Oh, shit, what y'all got going on? Oh, wow. Y'all keeping it spicy in this motherfucker. Yeah. How long have y'all been married? 50 years. 50 years. Congratulations. Give it up for that. Give it up for that. What's your name, sir? George. George, and your lovely wife is? Mrs. Vargovich, thank you for coming out tonight. Thank y'all so much. George, can I ask you a question? I know y'all been together 50 years, but over that's a long time. Over the course of that time, did y'all ever like kind of go through a bad breakup because you confused the kidney stone with an STD? No, just me. Yeah. Recently broke up with my lady, man, and I found out that I had a kidney stone. But I thought my lady was in these streets, and I kind of reacted. Now, fellas, if you never had a kidney stone, it's the worst fucking pain you can imagine. Like, I thought I was gonna die, man. But here's the thing about them: you have to pass them. Like, you have to, and that's the only way to get them out. And when I say that, guys always want to know, like, you're like, damn, man, like, what did it feel like? And I'm like, I don't know, motherfucker, being shanked to death in the shower? And they're like, well, how big are they? And I know the answer to that, too, because I had to fucking collect them all. You know? So, literally, for 3 weeks, I was panning my own piss like a pervy-ass prospector and shit. Like, hot dang, I got one, you know? Shit was crazy, man. So then I had to take all these piss rocks to the doctor and have him tell me, like, what to avoid and shit. Like, you know, here's the thing about being hospitalized, man. Do you realize how trusting you have to be of just other people to be in the hospital? When you're when they make you stay in the hospital, you're pretty much in your most vulnerable state. And here's the thing, man. Don't you realize that any one of you right now, from right where you're sitting, order some fucking scrubs? You can get them on Amazon. Like, anybody can just walk into a hospital and act like they work there. It's a fucking nightmare for me because I got a needle phobia, right? So I'm in the hospital, and I'll never forget, like, one night, man, this one, God, they gonna hate this one, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I can hear in the middle of the night, because treated for pain, they're giving me morphine. Pass out, wake up, pass out, wake up. This goes on for hours. But like at one moment in the middle of the night, I had woken up and I hear, like, you know, when they had the cart, when they're about to come with the needles and shit, I'm trained to hear that sound. So I can hear the cart coming from down the hall, the squeaky wheels and shit, like from all the way down the hall, I can hear it. And I'm like, fuck, somebody got needles and they probably coming here. And then it gets closer and closer and closer. And then next thing you know, it's right in my room. And this is the voice I hear. The door opens and it's like, okay, Mr. Washington, I'm here to take your blood. And I'm like, who? You? Ain't nobody else can do it? No disrespect, but I have a needle phobia, and I don't want somebody with super strength near my veins. Okay, all right, y'all some shit people like me. Y'all, okay. I didn't think y'all was gonna laugh at that, all right. Whew. All right, let's shift gears. Let's talk about serial killers. That seems like a good subject. Do you know how sometimes they say serial killers like to leave like a signature or like a breadcrumb? Like they sometimes leave clues behind for like some of the murders that they've committed. And I feel like part of them, the reason why they do it, because deep down they probably feel guilty about what they're doing and they really want to be caught. Like just recently, the Zodiac killer, they've had code breakers who have been working on this little crazy language that he had been confessing to all his murders for, you know, and they just recently cracked the code where he had his fucking name in all of the letters that he was sending to the police department. And then I started thinking about that, and I feel like serial killers can't be the only like repeat crime committers who probably has a signature and leaves breadcrumbs, right? So think about this. Check this out. How fucking weird is it that Bill Cosby chose to make Cliff Huxtable a OBGYN? Right? Because the Cosby Show would have worked if he was literally any kind of fucking doctor. He chose to make him an OBGYN, a pussy doctor. Listen, that is too on the nose. That's more on the nose than cocaine at Rick James' house. That's too on the nose. And let me say this. I'm not going to tell you that I knew R. Kelly was guilty. I'm not going to tell you that I knew it, but let's look at some of his breadcrumbs. I'm just going to start naming some of his song titles. It Seems Like You're Ready. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Feeling on Your Booty. 12 play. 12? All right. Y'all had enough of that one, okay. Ain't my fault y'all know nothing about R. Kelly, the greatest R&B singer of our generation. So be it he was a fucking pedophile, I mean, and gross, but, you know, still. All right, I feel y'all tightening up. What's wrong? Y'all scared of what I'm going to say next? Y'all know what's coming, huh? Y'all a little tense and shit like, fuck, what is he going to talk about? All right, I'll leave y'all alone. I ain't going to do it. I'll switch it up. Let's say this. I welcome conversation after all of my shows. If we get a chance to chit-chat after this, please feel free to come up and chit-chat. As a matter of fact, I brought with me, Joe mentioned that I'm going to be performing in the Fuse Festival next month. That is, it's a comedy/art festival because I'm also a visual artist. And I bought a couple of my prints with me as my merch and some stickers. And if any of you at the end of this have enjoyed my portion of it and you'd like to partake, I don't even put a price on them. I'll let you decide what you want to pay for it if you'd like to take a piece. But I will say this, when we talk, just don't make the shit weird. You know, I had a show one time back at my home club, and a gentleman walked up to me after the show, and he goes, Nate, I got to tell you, man, that was awesome. You know, my wife and I, we don't really get to go out that much, but because of you, we're going to start seeing more live comedy shows. And I thought that was great because he didn't have to take his time to say that, you know. And more importantly, I love anybody who supports live comedy. So please, one more time, clap for yourselves for coming out and supporting live comedy in the Syndicate. Yeah. So, George, then he kept going and the shit got weird. And he goes, also, my wife is really into black dudes. And I'm like, hey, man, well, thank y'all for coming out, you know? You know. And he goes, and you know, she's always wanted to be with one. And then he looked me in the eyes and he was like, and I want to see her do it. And he just stared at me. And I'm like, hey, man, you know, most times after a show, and people enjoy my part of it, they offer to buy me a drink. you know, sometimes the cool people might offer to let me get high with them. Nobody offers their wife. Y'all got problems. So I'm fucking this dude's wife, right? And he fucking asked me to. All right, one more and I'm gonna get out of here. Let me say this. I'm gonna leave you with this. Just a little bit of advice. You can take it or not, but it works for me. If you're ever just having a bad day and you need a little pick-me-up, a little boost to the self-esteem, you should do what I do, and that's watching an entire marathon of Hoarders, like about 8 hours worth. I guarantee you feel better about your situation. Because, look, I know it's some areas of my life that need attention, but I feel like as long as I ain't got to step over a dead cat to go pee, I fucking win. Like, my problem with Hoarders, though, is that they never react to the shit they see the way, we would react, They always got the psychiatrist out there, and she's like, listen, guys, before we go inside, I just need to remind you all that these are Karen's belongings, okay? And we're not going to throw anything away unless Karen tells us it's okay. All right, now let's go see what we got going on here, okay? Karen, this looks like a bucket of pee. Do you need this? You do? Okay, well, do you need all of them? Because, can I throw this one away? Can I just empty this one out? Like, I don't like the negotiation. I just want to see somebody go in there like me. I want to see somebody like, what the fuck? Lady, you gotta clean this shit up. All right? Now, see, you got actual shit on the floor, and you can't have that. I opened the bathroom door. There was 18 cats in there. And over here, you got a roller skate. Just one skate. What the fuck you gonna do with one skate? Then they start making excuses for why they're keeping trash. And she was like, well, one day I might meet an amputee. I can let him have the skate. The fuck can a one-legged man do with a skate, George? Throw this shit away. I was in Denver, and I told that very joke. And after a show, a dude walked up to me, and he said, Nate, my mom is a hoarder, and she had both of her legs amputated because she's diabetic. I didn't think that was very funny. Now, people that know me know I have a huge heart. I give you the shirt off my back if you need it, but I also do this, so I'm kind of an asshole. And I don't know when it's going to come out all the time, so I'm looking at dude, and I'm like, hey, man, listen, I'm sorry, okay? I didn't know. Did she keep them? That's my time. I'm Nate Washington. Thank you.
Keep it going for Nate, man. You like him? He's a good one, that's for sure. Hey, so sometimes, veteran comics will say things to some up-and-comers and stuff, and I just got a helpful tip from a veteran back here, and he said I should probably not have my hat on. Is that too much of a glare? Pretty fucking sure it is, so I'm going to keep it on, right? So, recently I joined Tinder. Is that weird? I mean, I might have mentioned somebody else, being around and shit. But anyway, let me tell you about these Tinder profiles that I came across. They were kind of weird, right? So, like, I'm scrolling through them and shit. Like, my buddies are, like, they're telling me all their stories and shit. And I'm like, oh, I fucking got to get on there, So, like, I'm scrolling down on there, and this chick, I'm like, oh, shit. Fucking reading. Her bio says this. I like to be tied to a tree and fucked in the ass. And I was like, oh, shit. She seems interesting. So I sent her a little message, We decided we was going to hook up and shit. But then I thought to myself, like, it's a first date, right? Like, you don't bring the rope. This fucking bitch pulled up with a fucking tree in her truck. I was like, yeah, fuck this one up, didn't I? So, needless to say, we didn't go on a second date, all right? So then I'm scrolling again, I'm going through there, and then this other one, it just kind of piqued my interest. And what it said, I swear to God, this is what it said. I'm not looking for hookups, but I'm versatile, and I have 300 Instagram pictures of my butthole. I want to catch up with the guy who's not afraid to crack an egg in my ass and fuck me so hard that it scrambles. So I brought a dozen eggs, and evidently that is too much for a first date, because I tentatively have a court date for Tuesday. All right, guys, we're going to bring up this next comedian. He is a veteran. He's been doing it for 12 years. He has actually been a contestant on the NBC America's Got Talent. Let's put our hands together and give it up for Jonathan Craig.
All right, thank you guys. Bellefontaine. Nice to be here in Bellefontaine. Joe says I've been here before, and I actually know that because you guys have one of those KFC buffets, and I don't forget a fucking thing like that, That is my thing right there. All right, it's good to be here in Bellefontaine. Unlike Nate, I feel real safe here. Thank you. That's how I like applause, just one at a time, We'll take turns. I don't want you guys getting tired. It's a long show. We'll start with this. Get a clipboard. We'll send it around. No. I do. I like it. You don't feel safe on every gig. Last week I had to do a show up in Detroit, Michigan. Not so safe, The rumors are true. Don't get me wrong. There's probably nice parts of Detroit, but that ain't where the fuck I was. Like at one point, my GPS was like, in 0.2 miles, duck down and pray. Even my cigarette was like, I don't think this is safe, I was up there to do a show at a place called Wayne County Correctional Institute. That's why it wasn't in the nice part. Anybody ever been there before? Yeah? Are you serious? Really? Yeah. He's like, yeah, let's not talk about it, actually. That's why I hang out at the Syndicate, wink. I had to use Apple Maps to get here tonight. Waze wouldn't even take me here. I was like, send me to the Syndicate in Bellefontaine, Ohio. And it was just like, we don't know what you're talking about. I typed in the address. It was just like, there's nothing to see here, all right? Forget about it. I was like, what kind of place is this? I guess I'll just guess where the cops are. I don't know. That's what I did. Doing the prison show, though, I got to do the all-female side of the prison, which is probably not where you were, probably, right? It's where you wanted to be, though, right? Yeah. Let me tell you this, guys. If you've ever wanted to feel like The Bachelor, right? That's where you go. I felt like I was smoking in some contraband, just having balls, I was so popular. After the show, a lot of the prisoners came up to me. They wanted to give me a hug because they were allowed, I guess. I wasn't really on board. I was like, hey, how about a pat down first or something, Holy shit. I was afraid I'd said something during the show to offend one of the prisoners. I was going to catch a toothbrush in the neck. Like, who funny now, bitch? Just... I don't want to go out like that. Shanks are a real problem in the prison system. I don't know if you know that. You got to watch out for them. I found that out by watching Netflix. I have a lot of prison shows on Netflix. One of these shows, a prisoner got caught hiding a scissor in their rectum. Yeah. I thought, man, that's dangerous, right? You're not even supposed to run with scissors. In your hand. It wasn't even a pair of scissors, right? It was just one scissor. And not like a little scissor, it was an orange handle. Big one. I assumed the handle was orange based on the size of the blade, right? You couldn't see the handle because they showed an x-ray of it inside the guy. But I like to think there was a handle. Right? Because to me, if there was no handle, it kind of makes it less of a weapon and more of like a home defense system, you know? Right? Like, nobody's breaking into that butthole, you know? Get a nasty cut. Imagine explaining that to your doctor, right? You're like, holy shit, would you microwave it? Jesus Christ. The last part doesn't even make sense. Thanks, Nate. I love it. I recently stopped smoking weed. Just right back here with all these guys. I'm glad you guys laughed at that, because that joke did not do well at the prison. They were upset. You ever gotten so stoned you start thinking it's a bad idea to go to work? I don't have a joke for that. I just wanted you guys to know how I feel. Wow, man, you guys are a great crowd. It's going to be a fun show. I like it here. I asked them if they could give me some Coke, and they gave me this, which is pretty much a no. Well, you guys like to party. All right. This is kind of a funny story. It happened a couple years ago, but my wife and I don't know if you guys remember this. 2 years ago, 420 fell on the same weekend as Easter. And, don't get ahead. My wife thought it would be super funny to get stoned and go to church. I'm here to tell you right now, it fucking wasn't. Especially because she's Catholic, right? And I don't know if you've ever been to a Catholic Mass before, but high isn't the good way to go the first time, you know? There's a lot to it. Right? There's a lot of standing up and sitting down and talking back in unison, and there's hand signals. And if you're an outsider, there are no instructions. You just have to stand there and look like a sinner. They can tell. I didn't know what to do. My wife, she knew exactly what to do, though, because she went to Catholic school. But I thought that was weird, though, because that was a long time ago, and typically she can't find her keys, but somehow this is what she remembers. I looked over at one point, she was like speaking in thumbs. She was going like up and down and left and right. I was like, what is that, the Contra code? You trying to get us 30 more sins? Baby, let's spin them tonight. Let's go all in on sin. Let's do it. I didn't know what to do. I saluted at one point. I don't think I was supposed to. It wasn't part of it. I found out the hard way you're not supposed to clap when the music stops. That's bullshit. That lady played the hell out of that organ. She deserves a little applause. I probably shouldn't have whistled. I think that's where I went wrong. Just a big old concert whistle. They were like, he's a loud sinner. Not allowed back. All right, that was a fun one. I love doing shows here in Ohio. I had to do a show, before I did the Detroit gig, I did a show over in Eastern Ohio at a college called Rio Grande University. You guys graduate from there? Oh, good, because I'm about to shit on it. My biggest problem with this university, right, is that if you see it on a map or something, you would probably pronounce it Rio Grande, right? Because that's how they fucking spelled it. They corrected me at the college. They were like, excuse me, sir, it's actually called Rio Grande because, get this, Rio rhymes with Ohio. That's the only reason. I was like, that's fucking stupid. Like you gotta do what the letters say, you know? Like, you're at college. Like, what do they teach you? They're like, when two vowels go a walking, the first one rhymes with the state you're in. Never hire anyone from Rio Grande University. When I left there, I drove north. I had to drive north to the Detroit gig. I drove through a place here in eastern Ohio called Licking County. That's a real place, you guys. Like, they had a meeting one day. They were just like, so what do you want to call your new county? And they were like, is Licking available? That seems odd. I was on the highway driving through this Licking County, very rural area. I was on the highway and I came upon a red light that I assume is probably like the main road through this Licking County. And I'm sitting at this red light and I noticed that to the left, this road was called Licking Valley, which I thought sounded provocative. And they did this on purpose too, because to the right, this road was called Brownsville. Folks, I know a joke when I see one. It's kind of a mean joke, too, because I think their intention was to taint the highway. A couple of you got it. Someday when I get some money together, I want to go back there and open up a restaurant right where those two roads meet that serves nothing but freshly tossed salad. Call it Shooters or something, I don't know. It was her turn to clap. You guys are fun. Speaking of bad restaurants, I went to a Waffle House last night because I haven't had the shits in a while. That's where you go. This is like a real Waffle House, too. Like, even their hand dryers had a little smoker's cough, you know? I was in the bathroom drying my hands. It was like, I kept waiting for some phlegm to shoot out or something. I was thinking, maybe that's where the soap is. Maybe. I hadn't been to a Waffle House in a long time either, so I asked the waitress, I was like, hey, sweetie, what do you recommend? And she was like, Burger King. What a helpful woman, you know? She had a tattoo on each one of her hands that said left and right, which would have been super convenient had they been correct. I mean, I see how it happens, right? You put your hand down, they're facing the wrong direction, but fucking get it fixed. Seems easy. I do eat a lot of fast food. That's my jam. I eat a lot. A freaking arrestable amount of McDonald's, really. I don't even call it McDonald's anymore. I just call it the kitchen. That's where I go. Wendy's, that's my jam. They got that 4 for $4. You guys have that here? The 4 for $4. You got burger, fries, chicken nuggets, and a drink for $4. I don't know what the fuck we're doing here, honestly. We should all be at Wendy's, really. It's a great deal. Before they had the 4 for $4, I used to try and trick them all the time. Like, I just order the 99-cent crispy chicken nuggets, and they'd be like, what kind of sauce would you like with your nuggets? And I would be like, Pepsi. They have to give it to you. I don't know. I do come up with a lot of tips, though, if you're going to eat fast food. Like, I know a lot of people don't pay with cash anymore, but if you're going to eat fast food, you should always pay with a 50, right? Because most of these kids suck at math. This works out great. Like, I went to Arby's the other day, ordered $13 worth of food, paid with a 50. They gave me my food and $56 in change. That's free food and gas money, right? Yeah. I guess they thought I paid with a 70. I don't know. Those are rare. 70s. I always say rare because you guys have that Fifth Third Bank. I think you could get a 70 there, you know? They're not very good at math either. Call themselves Fifth Third instead of something that makes sense, right? Like 1 2/3 bank. Some of you aren't laughing. You see, 5 doesn't go into 3. That's where the math is. Maybe you're not laughing because you just found out your bank sucks at math. That could be it. You guys are a good, really fun crowd. A buddy of mine recently gifted me a hoodie I was wearing around the house last weekend. It says, it's like a hunting hoodie. It says Cabela's across the front of it. And my wife had never heard of the place, and she asked me, she's like, what does Cabela's mean? And I thought about it for a second. I was like, well, it's pretty much, it's dicks without balls. She was way more confused after the explanation. I thought it made sense. She's been using it as an adjective now. We'll be out in public at a bar. She'll see a couple like douchebags walk by. She'll be like, look at those Cabela's. Her friend will be like, what does that mean? She'll be like, they're dicks without balls. Hey, I'll keep it. All right. Trying some new stuff. This happened to me the other day. I opened up my garage to leave. There was a possum crawling around in my garage. This ever happened to you guys? This thing scared the shit out of me, right? It was crawling with its front legs, dragging its back legs. Like, I didn't know how to approach the situation, right? I didn't know if it was like really injured or just playing paraplegic. Right? Because sometimes possums will play dead, but I didn't know they could also play Lieutenant Dan. My favorite part about that joke is the first few times I told it, I actually used to say Christopher Reeves. But then everybody would make that fucking noise. So I had to change it to Lieutenant Dan. Nobody gives a fuck about that guy. It's kind of the point they were going for in the movie, I think. That joke works every time, by the way. You always owe. Every crowd. It's so fun. Let's do another crowd participation. You guys dog people? You guys, what's better, dogs or people? Uh-huh, yeah. Here's a creepy fact that I came up with. Clap your hands loud and proud if you know that chocolate is poison to dogs. All right, I think that was most of us. Now, clap your hands if you know that honey is poison to infants. Not as much applause on that second one. That paints a pretty interesting picture, doesn't it? Right? That means that someone found out about that chocolate thing, and they were just like, hey, we got to get the word out. Tell everyone you know. And then someone found out about that honey thing, and they were like, hey, there is a way out. But we got to keep this shit to ourselves. We're about to lose our child earned income credit. Which I think is the best part of having kids, really. I don't have any kids, but I think it would be the best part. I wish I got that. What is it, like $3,000, $4,000 per kid? That adds up, right? How's that even fair? Like, how come I can't get a tax credit for realizing I can't afford a kid, right? That's a responsible decision. That's how you get tax credits, make responsible decisions, right? Go to college, buy a fuel-efficient vehicle, adopt a baby. You get tax credits. How come I can't get some sort of, hey, thanks for pulling out and not burdening our system credit, Seems fair. I'll save my receipts if that's the problem, Save whatever kind of tissue or towel or my girlfriend's face, whatever, Just call it like the pull-out payout. I don't know. Don't be a dummy. Leave it on her. The point is, there should be a credit. This is so much fun. I like it here. This is probably the nicest screen patio I've ever performed on, to be honest with you. I think the only way they could make it better, it's like you couldn't just put like a Velcro curtain right here would be nice. Like any kind of, I don't mean to tell them their business, I just prefer a curtain right here. No? All right. Just trying to think of something else funny. Halloween was last weekend. You guys have a good Halloween? You can't tell Halloween jokes after Halloween. Like, the second Halloween's over, everybody's just like, fucking Christmas, immediately. It's so weird. Do you guys, I found this out, though. I will go back in time. We'll go back 1 week. I'll tell a couple. I found this out on my travels. Did you know that not everyone calls it Halloween? Like in New Jersey, they call it Cabbage Night. And in Detroit, they call it Devil's Night. And when I was a kid, I called it Mommy's Last Chance to dress like a whore before she gains winter weight. You got to write pretty small to get that on the calendar. Yeah. Now, last holiday season, my wife bought me what she calls a holiday sweater. It's just a solid green and red stripes all the way down, like she's never even heard of Freddy Krueger. She told me it was on sale. I was like, yeah, I bet it was. I bet they were slashing prices. I love it, though. I call it my dual-purpose sweater, right? Because I can throw that baby on, carve up a turkey, or your nightmares, you know? Whatever needs carving. I love it. It's actually the closest thing to a Halloween costume I've had in years. Because I don't know if you know how much this job pays, but I'm not really making costume money up here. I drive a 1999 Honda. It's pretty hard to justify spending money on pretend when your car is still worried about Y2K. Thing's a real piece of shit. Has over 480,000 miles on it. But it looks like it has over 780,000 miles on it. It's a real piece of shit. Not a looker. Like, it's the kind of car you don't park too close to the cans on trash day. Come out to no car is what you'll do. You'll be like, of course he's throwing it away. Have you seen this fucking thing? I was driving it last week and started smoking real bad. You know what I did? Nothing. I figured, fuck it, the car's 20 years old, right? If it wants to smoke, there's really nothing I can say about it, you know? I put some nicotine patches on the door and hope for the best. That's how I fix things, you know? Some people use like tools and wrenches, you know? I use hope. I just hope it gets better. That's what I do. Didn't work for my air conditioner. That shit's been broke since July. I've been hoping since July. Nothing. That thing's super broke. We had a guy out to tell us to try and fix the air conditioner. He told us that the circuit board was fried. It was going to be $1,000 for a circuit board. And I don't know if I told you how broke I am, but we don't have $1,000. I don't know what's in your circuit board budget. We're just like, how else can we cool this house down? You know, we had to think of something this summer. And honestly, there's nothing. I don't even know what people did before air conditioning. I think the only thing you could get to cool your house down before there was air conditioning was haunted. That's it. What else could you get, you know? So we were like, fuck it, let's try it, you know? Like, I don't have $1,000 for a circuit board, but I do have $10 for a Ouija board. Let's go. I was like, come on, spirits, you know? Let's get some of those drafts and cold spots I've heard so much about. Maybe one over the bed, please, you know? We tried everything. Tried Candyman. That's not even a good movie. I started going to thrift stores, buying creepy-looking dolls, just throwing them up in the attic like, I don't know, maybe. Things got weird when we started burying Indians in the basement. Yeah. Weren't even the right kind of Indian, first of all. Like, we never got haunted, but our Wi-Fi is incredible. I don't even know why that last part's funny. I insinuate that burying people from India will somehow improve your Wi-Fi in a room full of adults. It's like, that makes sense. Interesting. All right, I only got a couple more minutes. Any questions? You guys, by round of applause, how many people want to see some magic? Wait, came to the wrong show then, I guess. I don't do magic. I once made a baby disappear, but it cost like $700. Yeah. Magic kits are expensive. It was worth it, though. This trick had everything. The parents were pissed. They were like, hey, buddy, where's our baby? And I was just like, ta-da. You guys seem concerned. Don't worry, they got her back. I feel like that's the polite thing to do once they pay the ransom. You see what I did there? It smells like an abortion joke, but it's a kidnapping joke. Ta-da. Yeah, that's not the one I'm leaving on. All right. You guys want to hear the joke that got me kicked off of America's Got Talent? That's a fun one. This wasn't even like as progressive as it is now. This was 2014. They asked me to give me a call back, and I did this joke verbatim that I'm about to do for you guys, and they kicked me off the show. I was just like, all right, we were filming in January, all right, so yeah, that's why this joke was appropriate. I was like, I had a good Christmas. My niece is getting to this age where she's starting to get suspicious about the whole Santa Claus thing. She came up to me at one point on Christmas Eve. She was like, so how does this Santa guy get around to every kid's house in one night? Like the big question, you know? And I didn't know. I want to keep it going as long as possible, right? So I was just like, well, Santa's a hard worker. Probably Mexican. Right? I mean, he sure knows his way around a roof, and crosses international borders completely undetected. I think I convinced her, too, because instead of milk and cookies, she left out chips and salsa. They did not advance me after that. It's not like I said, oh, they're into B&Es, It's like, I feel like it's fluffy, is all I'm saying. Breaking and entering. All right, never mind. Not closing on that one either. All right. We're doing the maximum. All right. All right, I will leave you on this one. This is a fun one. My wife made a deal with me this year. She said she would get me anything I wanted for my birthday this year if I agreed to do a little bit of manscaping first. That was her deal. I feel like that's one of those be careful what you wish for kind of things, 'Cause that's a lot of upkeep. And I'm pretty lazy. Get a little bit of stubble growing on there. That's going to be a pain in her ass, right? Won't even feel like sex anymore. Now I'm just sawing her in half like some shitty magician, I said no. Said no to the manscaping. Because I feel like if there's one thing that's supposed to look manly, it's a dick. Right? Like, I don't want some manicured, girly wiener, Like, I want like a manly looking cock, Like, I want my dick to look like it rolls its own cigarettes, Has a couple warrants, rides a Harley, I might even get like a teardrop tattoo at the end, maybe. I'm not shaving. I'm trying to go like a Dick Dynasty look. That's what I'm going for. My name's Jonathan Craig, folks. Thank you so much.
Jonathan Craig, ladies and gentlemen, keep it going. All right, I want to ask you guys a question. I want you to answer it honestly. You having a good time? Yeah. I mean, honestly, are you having a good time? Yeah. Would you like to see another show here? Yeah. January 22nd, there's going to be another comedy show here, so be prepared. Get your tickets. They sell out quick. But because I brought up honesty, I want to bring up another thing about honesty, right? You believe in honesty in a relationship? You? Absolutely. What about in the beginning? You? In the beginning of a relationship? Honesty? Yeah? Huh. Me, not so much, and let me tell you why. Imagine me on the first date bringing up the fact that I have low self-esteem, a shitty credit score, and a tiny penis. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to get anywhere like that, Out of those three things that I just mentioned, shitty credit score, a tiny penis, like really tiny, like you might say micro penis, or the low self-esteem. Out of those three things, which one of those things do you think a woman cannot deal with? That's true, because if you had good credit, you could buy a bigger dick. All right, guys, I don't know if some of you guys are familiar with this guy. He's been around. You're going to learn to love him, and then you're going to learn to hate him, okay? This guy is great. Watch out. Be careful. You guys ready for your headliner? Yeah. Give it up for Chris Abels.
Bellefontaine. Put your hands together, motherfuckers. Yeah. Came out to party tonight, raised the garage doors and fucking everything. You having a good time, sir? Talking to you. Yeah, you having a great time? Oh, yeah. Welcome to the front row, motherfucker. Yeah. What's your name? What? George? George? What's your hat say? USAF. What the fuck's that stand for, George? He said USAF. United States Air Force. You a veteran? He is a veteran. Don't fuck with that guy. Thanks for sitting up front, George. You guys having a great time tonight? I hope you're having a great time, motherfucker. You're big. He's like, I'm sitting up front. I'll fucking stab you. Welcome to Bellefontaine. Is that the name of your city, Bellefontaine? What is it? Yeah, I know it's Bellefontaine. You know how? I did a show here 3 years ago, and I was like, Bellefontaine. They were like, boo. Boo. It's Bellefontaine. I was like, okay, Bellefontaine. And they were like, boo. Boo. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, it's Bellefontaine. I was like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, every time I say the name of your city wrong, just yell, fuck you, Chris. And then I was doing my shit, and I was like, Bellefontaine, and they were like, fuck you, Chris. At first, it was only 3 people. Population of Bellefontaine. Highest city in fucking Ohio. I'm high as fuck right now, Gary. Might as well indulge. Don't make you get up. She said, don't make me get up. What's your name, ma'am? My name is his wife. Holy shit. Cuckold. I watch that shit. Gary. USAF.cuckoldhiswife.com. I seen that shit. What is your name, ma'am? Sue. Gary and Sue. So, guys, when I travel around and shit, I like to look up, like, little fun facts about the town I'm going to and stuff. Bellefontaine, highest city in Ohio. Biggest slut in Bellefontaine, Gary's wife. George's wife? Who's George? George, Gary, it's all the same. Who gives a fuck? Veteran. Man with the littlest dick in Bellefontaine. George. I'm just kidding. I love you guys' town. I went to that, what's that store? The Community Market? Is that the name of it? Fucking went to that Community Market on my way in. I was like, I need some beer. I fucking go in. I buy the beer. First time in my life, ladies and gentlemen, that I've ever been in a fucking town where the cashier asked me, paper, plastic, or meth? I was like, damn, Bellefontaine wants to party. He was my dealer. What's your name, man? Adam. I wish it was Adam Walsh. That way you'd disappear. From a fucking mall in Florida. How the fuck? That's bad? Are you having a good time, ma'am? You don't know. You're my kind of lady. I always like to go to the towns, and I'm like, you having a good time? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, fuck it. My name is Bill Cosby. You having a good time, ma'am? Yeah? What's your name? You got a goddamn blanket on your fucking lap. What the fuck? She's acting like this is a fucking football game in Bellefontaine. She's like, I brought my blanket. I'm going to sit up front. Susan? Suzanne. I always say shit wrong. I'm sorry. What's your name, sir? Derek? Second to the littlest dick in Bellefontaine. Too soon? He's like, I just got voted that yesterday. I'm just kidding, man. I'm a too soon kind of guy. So, like, I've been watching a lot of fucking TV lately. You guys see this shit about Alec Baldwin? You see that shit, man? Yeah. You know what, man? As I travel around and stuff, I do a lot of, like, little towns and shit. Do you guys have a theater here? What's it called? The Holland? Okay, so it's not like the Lincoln Theater, right? Because I do a lot of fucking little towns, and their theater is always called the Lincoln Theater. And I'm like, what the fuck? Lincoln Theater? That's kind of fucked up. That's where that guy got killed. If Abraham Lincoln came back and, like, went to some of these small towns, he'd be like, really, guys? What the fuck? He'd be like, too soon, right? Too soon. And then I was like thinking, man, I'll just wait till you're fucking done. Interrupting my show, what the fuck? You're like Gary. Right there, fucking George. He is nice, yes. He pulled his dick out and was like, will you come over here and stroke it? I was like, I'm trying to do a show. You wouldn't stroke him? Why? He's a veteran. Do it for your country. Fuck. What the fuck, Bellefontaine? I tried, George. I'm nasty. Did you just say that? Really? While you're rubbing your clit? Too soon. Too soon. I'm not trying to be too soon, guys, but I've had all these ideas. That would be like naming a bathtub the Whitney Houston. That would be like naming a fast car the Paul Walker. That would be like naming a prop gun the Alec Baldwin? Yeah, I'm telling you, that's too soon. And guess what? That's one guy I would never want to do shots with. Guys, I love you, Bellefontaine. Put your hands together if you're having a good time. A lot of fucking dope-ass comics tonight, right, man? Yeah? Nate? You guys like Nate? Put your hands together. I met Nate, and I was like, God damn, that's Samuel. Yeah, young Samuel. I'm having a great time, though, guys. I've been traveling around and shit, and recently, I, like, fucking went out to L.A., Let me tell you, LA is fucked up. LA is fucked up. But they got some like nice hotels and shit, right? So I get out there and I check into my hotel in Hollywood and I was like, damn, this shit's nice. But as I walk in, I kind of had to piss. And so I told the guy at the front desk, I was like, I got to go take a piss. He was like, bathroom's over there. So I fucking go over to the bathroom and stuff. I'm in there. I'm taking a piss. I come out and I was like, dude, this is the dopest hotel I've ever been in my entire life. He was like, really? Why? I said, I went into the bathroom and I had to take a piss and your bathroom attendant came over and unzipped my pants and like pulled my dick out and fucking sat there and hold it for me while I was pissing, even shook it off twice. Guys know about that. Shook it off twice, wiped it. I was like, this is the best shit ever. I went, and the guy at the front desk told me, he was like, sir, we don't have bathroom attendants. Guys, follow me. I just got played with by somebody that wasn't at the hotel, all right? Sir, you don't know about that? How old are you, sir? 54. You goddamn liar. No, I'm not talking to you, man. I'm talking to you. What's your name, sir? What is it? Lloyd? You look like a Lloyd. You get even more mad. He was like, Lloyd, motherfucker. You having a good time tonight, Lloyd? Yeah. Put me in your will. Well, how much you got, Lloyd? Goddamn, I just played DeGraff last week. You guys been to the fucking DeGraff? There's a goddamn bar there called the Tammy Lynn. You been there? I walked in that motherfucker, I was like, holy shit, they got a petting zoo. I was like, I gotta use the bathroom. He was like, we ain't got no bathroom attendants, Chris. But I went in there, and the goddamn sign on the wall said, employee, not even employees. Employee must wash hands. I stood in there for a half hour waiting for that motherfucker to come in there and wash my hands. I was like, what the fuck, DeGraff? I do like that bar, though. They had a goddamn zebra in there. They had a giraffe. I was like, what the fuck? I feel like a Toys R Us kid again in DeGraff. I fucking love that shit. Gary. You too, George. I have short-term memory. It's the highest point in Ohio, ma'am. I like how Nate opened it up with, oh, H. What is it? Goddamn, you guys don't support OH. I'm glad you motherfuckers can spell. George, can I tell you about my family? They're fucked up. They're fucked up. Actually, guys, guess what? What is today? November what? November 6th? That's awesome. Because I was reading an article when I got to the hotel. I was reading this article in a magazine. And it said, eating cucumbers creates long-term memory. I believe that shit, man. Because 20 years ago, on November 6th, my uncle shoved a cucumber in my asshole, and I totally fucking remember it. It's still in there. It's a pickle. It's a pickle. You ready to hear about the rest of my family, George? All right, man. So, I love my mom, guys. My mom's here tonight. Put your hands together for my mom. She tries to go around to all the shows and shit and always supports and shit, and I love my mom. When we were growing up, my mom was a chain smoker. I grew up in the early 80s. A lot of 80s babies here tonight. Yeah? You guys will get this shit. So I grew up in the 80s, and I had two brothers, and we were all 1 year apart. So when I was growing up in the fucking 80s, my mom and my dad was chain fucking smokers, okay? So when my mom was driving us to school in her fucking Bonneville, she was just chain smoking like a motherfucker, taking us to school. Chris, I was only in 5th grade. Chris, light me another cigarette. And the windows were up. The windows were up the entire fucking time. So I lit her another cigarette, and I handed it to her. We get to school, man. You know what happened? As soon as me and my brothers walked into school, over the fucking announcements, we heard, Will the Abels boys please come to the office? Will the Abels boys please come to the office? Me and my brothers going out into the office. You know what happened, George? The principal said, boys, I'm afraid you boys have jaundice. We looked at him and we're like, fucking idiot. And then he scraped our forehead and fucking seen that it was nicotine stains. He should have been tipped off, bro. Because me and my two brothers were the only fucking 3 boys in school decked out head to toe in fucking Marlboro gear. Those goddamn sweatpants were a lot of Marlboro miles. We had the hats, we had the fucking windbreaker, we had the sweatpants, and the fucking Marlboro shoes. 3 fucking boys decked out head to toe in Marlboro gear. And you know what the principal said? I gotta call your ma. And he called my ma. He said, Mrs. Abels, this is Principal Mowry. We got your boys in the office. We're afraid they have jaundice. We're like, Ma, just tell them it's nicotine stains. You know what she said? You know what she said? She said, Mr. Mowry, listen to me, motherfucker. This is a Marlboro vibrator. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That shit was fucked up. You guys having a good time tonight, Bellefontaine? How does Bellefontaine vote? Are you guys Republican? Everybody's quiet. What the fuck? Is there any Joe Biden fans in the crowd? I'm sorry, Brandon. Is there any Brandon crowds in the fan? Let's go, Brandon! Stupid motherfucker. Stupid mother. He's like, oh my God, I think they're all saying, let's go, Brandon. What do you think back there, Willie? What's his name? Lloyd. Willie Lloyd. I'm good with names. I'm good with, he was like, Brandon. I came here tonight to deliver a special message, Bellefontaine. Listen, okay? It's going to be huge. Something you never heard George say. Bigger than China. Do you like China? I love China. Friends, okay, I created China. Bigger, better. I'm just kidding. That was my attempt at an impression. I love you guys. Thank you guys for coming out tonight, man. Because you know what? We need to get back to fucking live entertainment, right, Bellefontaine? Put your hands together. Joe Jackson called me and said, Chris, can you do this show? I said, what's your name? He said, Joe Jackson. I was like, I will, but how many times did you beat Michael? True story. Yeah. True story. I love fucking Joe Jackson. Give it up for Joe Jackson for bringing this shit to Bellefontaine. Guys, are you having a good time tonight? Yeah? Everybody drinking up? Everybody getting fucked up? Yeah? What'd you drink tonight, ma'am? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Did you guys hear what she said? I said, what are you drinking tonight? She said, finger me in my pussy. You did say that, yes? Yes. Yeah, you're going to go home and remember it tomorrow. Because Gary's going to fuck you up. Do it for your country. It's a veteran. Did you serve? Did you serve? What war? Vietnam. Holy shit, you guys are almost done. I'm just kidding, man. I love Agent Orange. Fuck you, Chris. Holy shit, fuck you, Chris. You must have been at the first fucking show I did in Bellefontaine, right? Yeah? Ladies and gentlemen, before I go tonight, shut up, Ma. My ma always says that. Before I go tonight, Bellefontaine, can I hear you guys all together say, fuck you, Chris? Gladly? What the fuck? That was the worst off cue I've ever heard. I was like, can I hear you guys all together? Happy birthday to you. No, one, I'm going to count it down for you, Bellefontaine. We're going to say, that's right. Holy shit. I think she meant it. Because she twisted her nip while she said it. She was like, fuck you, Chris. Later. So, I'm just kidding. Ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Fuck you, Chris. Bellefontaine. I had a great time tonight. All right, guys? Is it Bellefontaine? Bellefontaine. All right, Bellefontaine. I had a great time tonight. Do you guys want to see a magic trick? Yeah? Dude, I see you wearing your Patagonia sweater. So that means you got money in your wallet. Come the fuck up here. We're going to do some magic. What's your name, bro? I'm talking to you. He just keeps smiling. He doesn't see me. I'm not fucking Stevie Wonder. What's your name, bro? Come up here. She done sold you out. She's got a blanket on her lap. She's like, go. Come on, man. Come on. Hurry up. You're holding up the show, motherfucker. Oh, goddamn, he's big. Why didn't you fucking tell me? She set me up. What's your name, man?
Derek.
Derek? Of course, Derek. Derek, I want you to help me do a magic trick real quick, okay? What's the biggest bill that you have in your wallet right now?
I don't carry big bills.
What do you carry?
Like 20s.
All right, let me see a 20 real quick. We're going to do this magic trick. I'm going to double it for you. Here we go, Bellefontaine. Derek just handed me a $50 bill, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Derek. We're going to do a little magic real quick. All right? You guys ready for this? You guys like magic? Here we go. Derek's $50 bill. Here we go, Derek. You're going to love this. I promise, man. I know what I'm doing. I'm a professional.
You look like it.
Yes, I totally look like it when I come to Bellefontaine. All right, man. So, ready? Ladies and gentlemen, Derek's $50 bill. Derek, give it up. Fuck, Derek. I forgot how it goes. Can I get a volunteer for my sawing somebody in half trick? Thank you, Derek. My name is Chris Abels, ladies and gentlemen. If you liked what I had to say, follow me. If you didn't, my name's Justin Weiss. Take care of your bartenders, ladies and gentlemen. I used to be a fucking bartender. That is a tough fucking job. Take care of your bartenders tonight, all right? I'm going to tell you guys why it was a tough job. When I was a bartender, this fucking lady came into the bar. It was at the end of the night. It was closing time. She sat down at the end of the bar. She had her fucking hand on her face, and she goes, hey! Tarbender, pour me a drink for my heartburn. I walked down to the end of the bar, and I said, first of all, lady, I'm not a tarbender. I'm a bartender. Second of all, you don't have heartburn. Your tits in an ashtray. Thank you guys for coming out tonight, Bellefontaine.
Let's give it up for everybody that was here tonight. He's an acquired taste. I guess I should have said that to begin with, right? But I did say you're going to learn to hate him, right? Try to give you a little bit of a warning. Hey, so I like to say before I leave a show, for the night, there's a couple things I like to say. So some of you guys that know me, I have a son who is severely affected by autism, and sometimes I like to just talk about him just a little bit, right? Because sometimes it makes me laugh. It's pretty cool. On this one particular incident that I'm going to talk about, we are at a musical for my youngest daughter. And, she's up there and she's singing and stuff. And then, the crowd goes quiet because it's like a little break in the singing and whatever. And my son was he's 13 now, so I'm going to say he was probably 8. And so when everybody went quiet, my son yells out, "Fuck you, Jimmy Buffett!" And I'm like, what the, where the fuck did he learn that at? You know what I'm saying? Another thing I like to say, he has me do these weird things sometimes, you just got to plan it, you just got to do what you got to do, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes in 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, he'll want to go take a walk, and he takes his iPad out there, so we're walking, and sometimes, he bosses me around. He's like, Daddy, march. So there's this video he's watching, and, okay, I'm marching, and, I got to sing this little song that's going along with it. March, 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 march. And then at the end, he wants me to bow and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I do that, right? So then he starts doing it. He starts marching. And now he's just going down there, right? And it comes to the point where he says, thank you. He starts bowing and he goes, fuck you, and fuck you. I have no clue where he learns this shit at. So I'm glad you guys came out. Like I said again, there's going to be another show. The ending probably won't be like that. Like I said, a little rough, I know, but I love Chris. He's a wild guy, and sometimes it is just phenomenal. But anyway, I like to say this too before I leave, right? So everybody, we know that people go through stuff, and I think the best thing to do in life is just to not judge people and to always be kind. Thank you guys all for coming out.